All right, here we go. Back again. Your financial life. We're going to figure some things out. We're in the midst of a recession, unprecedented times. And right here in this environment, we get after it. After 30 days, you will have known some things.
Standing in my B-boy stance in my Air Max.
Got my announcer here today. Let's see what she's got for us. All right, Ollie.
Hi, how's it going? Welcome back to day 13 of your daily live stream. I'm Ollie Dunn, your host. Wait, what? This just in. Hold on. I thought I was the host. Who is then? Oh, your host, Peter Dunn.
Boy, everyone thinks they're a comedian around here. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Day 13 on a Recession-Proof Your Finances in 30 Days. I'm Peter Dunn, CEO, dad, husband, bread maker. Not bread earner. No one's earning bread right now. I'm literally make bread every day like I'm Laura Ingalls Wilder. Here's what we're tackling here today. We're talking a little bit about the economy, not as much as normal. I wanted this to be a short show. Today, we're going to go on a family bike ride right before severe weather hits our neighborhood. Happening. We're all going to... Hey, listen. The president signed the stimulus bill. So a lot of that stuff's going to kick in next week. Checks should be here in a couple of weeks. Unemployment benefits will start flowing again. So part of the relief effort is on the way. I highly recommend that you lock it in because over the next couple months, the stimulus package isn't going to solve anything. It's just going to bring people back close to even. So stay focused. Don't let little pieces of good news inflate in your mind and then everything's fine. That rhymed. We got to continue to stay resolved to do a better job here. Here are our goals for this program. Very simple. Cut at least $500 over this 30-day period per month going forward. Someone is watching, David is watching this at the Atlanta airport, watching live. Hey, we'll tell the Hartsfield-Jackson airport, or is it Jackson-Hartsfield? No one knows for sure. Great airport. Tell the airport I said hello. Go to Bobby's Burger Palace. I think it's in Concourse C. You can get a burger with some chips on the burger. That's what I prefer to do. Anyway, you're going to press reset on your financial lives, and we're going to do that today quite a bit as we talk about money and relationships. That's the topic today. We need you to stop guessing. Also has to do with money and relationships because the reality is a lot of times we just assume that our partner is on the same track as we are financially. And I've just come to learn over the years that that's not true. If you don't share money with a significant other, good for you. They're a pain. No, good. That's okay. Because we're also going to show you how to check in with an accountability partner or simply yourself. Sometimes just to ask yourself the proper questions is a good thing to do. If you want personalized individual attention, if this is helpful for you, but you need an expert, go to callheymoney.com. Someone from my team will walk you through this stuff. Very talented group of experts, certified financial planners, accredited financial counselors. They work for us. They do it the right way, and it's just $20 a month. But with a discount code, it's like $17.99 with the offer code CHEESE. You can have someone on our team help you with your finances whenever you want, and it's just $17.99 a month. All right, day 13. Lucky 13. Boy, aren't we lucky? Day 13, we are having a talk here today about how to talk about money with your significant other. I do realize that some couples watch this here show on a daily basis. And I also realize that some individuals who are part of a couple watch it and then have awkward attempts at trying to get the other person to care about the weird bald guy in central Indiana. I understand. I think springing a financial conversation on another person is a really challenging thing to do because that other person is unlikely to be prepared to have that conversation. So my hope is with the questions I'm going to arm you with today, you're able to go to your lovey-dovey and you're able to say to them, can we have a financial conversation in the next day or two? Or can we have a financial conversation next weekend? You have to give them a chance to get their mind right. You cannot spring this on them. I'm not kidding. No matter how great you think this next section is, and by the way, it's pretty good. No matter how great you think it is, though, you can't spring this on them today. You can tell them you want to have the conversation later, but you can't just start the conversation. I just wouldn't do it. I've seen it go wrong way too many times. If you are not in a relationship that shares money, or not in a relationship at all, and the first piece of advice I'm about to give you is a little weird, a little hokey, and you may not want to follow it, but I think you should. I'm not kidding. Look in the mirror and just ask yourself this question. The questions I'm going to go through here today, I want you to just ask yourself, check in, be honest with yourself. They're questions maybe you've never considered. And so asking them of yourself is a very valuable process. The other thing you can do is you can use this opportunity to recruit an accountability partner. Maybe there's someone else out there, whether they have a relationship with someone with money or not, that can be your accountability partner and you can be theirs. Look, the whole reason Hey Money exists is because we know people need expert guidance and they need accountability. Use us. If you're a single person and you don't want to talk to anyone else about this but us, by God, do it. We have people talk to us every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, about these topics, and we can be your accountability partner. What better is it to have experts do this in an empathetic way? So if you want to read what I'm about to do with you here today, you can always go to PeteThePlanner.com and search Perfect Money Conversation. There's a blog post I wrote a few years ago that are these questions. And the point of this is to go to your partner, go to the mirror, or come to Hey Money, and we can walk you through these questions. Your goal is to simply ask for permission for the other person to answer these questions of you. So let's get started. The first question. Is there something that I do that stresses you out from a financial perspective? That's what you're going to ask your partner. Is there something I do that stresses you out from a financial perspective? This is interesting, right? This is a question you might not want to know the answer to. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you one of the most important rules. When you're going to start asking these types of questions, you can't defend yourself. You have to take it all in. Take the note, as they say in the theater. Take the note. This is not a debate. You're not trying to start a fight. You're not even trying to start a discussion or a debate. You're just asking questions and getting very valuable feedback that you will then think about later. Okay? So question number one is, what do I do that stresses you out when it comes to money? Mrs. Planner and I have actually gone through these questions, and I learned a thing or two about how I deal with money. You would think when you deal with money all day long for thousands and thousands of people that I would have, rather refined financial skills and qualities. And I do to a degree, but I also have really weird idiosyncrasies. I can't say that word. I should have tried. You ever have that when you're about to just let a word out your mouth and then you realize halfway through it, you're like, I don't know the positioning of the letters, so I'm not going to be able to deliver. Next question. What's my most annoying money habit? So the first question really revolved around stress. This one's really about what annoys you about how people deal with money. Who knows what they're going to say? And by the way, if they start to not answer any of these, prod them a little bit. They make them be a little bit mean. Make them be a little bit honest. And by the way, if they're not in the mood, have the conversation another time, because it does not make sense to have this conversation if you're not going to get honest, transparent feedback. And if you're talking in the mirror to yourself and trying to have this conversation, this will take a little longer because you're asking yourself to then go to a different place in your mind to come up with these answers. So what's my most annoying money habit is number 2. Number 3, what am I good at in regards to money? That's right. You're soliciting praise. It's Saturday. My words, a lot of words this week. I don't even know in what order they go in, how to spell any of them at this point. But what am I good at in regards to money? That's interesting, right? Hopefully the person doesn't go, well, you're good at spending it, not telling me. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. All right, next question. By the way, you don't have to write these down. You can just rewatch this live event here again. Or you can, of course, go to PeteThePlanner.com and go to the blog and just type in Perfect Money Conversation. You will find this. Next, do you worry about money? So you're asking your partner this. Honey, bunny, lovey-dove, do you worry about money? Now, what's interesting about this is maybe they didn't 2 months ago, and maybe they do now, which wouldn't be surprising because we're in the midst of a global pandemic. But what if you ask them in the midst of this global pandemic if they worry about money and they say no? And you say, what? How can you not worry about money? I'm worried about money right now. Your host, me, I'm worried about money right now. It's not irrational fear. I'm trying to make sure we make all the right decisions. There are people out there that aren't afraid right now, but I don't know who they are when it comes to a financial perspective. Our economy's shut down. So if your partner says they're not worried about money, you need to dig deeper, because they're either ignoring the fact that there's a global and economic pandemic, or they're not sharing a very important piece of information which gives them all this calm and everyone else is freaked out. I don't want your partner to not be worried about now, because they should be worried about now. It gets their reaction up. You can't just be so dismissive of what we're dealing with. So that worries me. I mean, honestly, if your person asked that if you ask that question, that's what they say, I would be a little bit worried. Do you think we were in a better spot 12 months ago? This is the next question you're asking your partner, or this is what you're asking yourself in the mirror. I mean, most people are going to say yes. I mean, especially in this environment. When you ask these questions under normal circumstances, you'd get a mixed bag of answers. But 12 months ago, based on what's going on in the economy right now, most people were fine. How about going forward? Do you think we will be in a better spot 12 months from now? Wow, that's a critical question right now. Do you know why? Because some of us, this is going to be a blip. I mean, it's going to be a really hard 3-4 month blip. And that's a heck of a blip. We probably shouldn't call it a blip. It's going to be bad, right? But others of us will get past that on the other side, and 12 months from now, we'll be fine. Others of us, if we don't have a good plan, if we've not talked about this with our significant others and we haven't thought this through, that blip becomes a problem, a long-term problem. Just see how your partner feels about that. If we could eliminate one expense, what would it be? That's your next question. If we could eliminate one expense, what would it be? And then, by the way, why can't you eliminate that expense? Which I think is the point of this entire 30-day period. We can press reset. We can make changes that we never thought possible simply by digging in and doing it. One of my best friends on the planet did one of the smartest financial moves I've ever seen in my life. He and his family decided that the home that they were in, which is their favorite thing in the world other than each other and their friends, was what was killing them financially. It was just too much house. And so they had the guts to make the extreme decision, which was very hurtful for them at the time, to get out of the house and to just rent a less expensive place until they could get their heads around their financial lives again. Saved their financial life, saved relationships, saved them mentally. But it was one of those things where I'm sure at one point in time, they sat down and asked the question, what one expense could we eliminate that would make our life easier? And of course, they said their house. And then they said, well, it's probably not possible. But then they made it possible. It's one of my I can't give you any more details than that. It's one of my favorite stories ever. I've seen someone make changes in their financial life because it was very real. It was very hard. It was very extreme. People told them they were crazy. People were like, no, just hang on. It'll be okay. No, it won't. And it wasn't. And so they changed that. And then their financial life is fine now. Really, that's what a big change will do. Don't be afraid of extreme real solutions here. I don't want you to take a minor problem now and then try to solve it with an extreme solution. But if you've got a major problem, it calls for a major solution. All right, so this is the stunner here. If you have a significant other and you're going through this, you've just asked them all these questions. And now you're asking them if you can answer the questions in relation to them. Holy moly. Let's go back and think about sorry, I'm going to make you throw up here with this. Okay, there it is. You're going to answer these questions about your significant other. Is there something that my significant other does that stresses me out financially? You get to answer it. Next, what is your partner's most annoying money habit? you get to answer. And because you shut your lips the entire time that they were answering these questions about you and you weren't defensive, you've set the tone that you can answer these too. And if they start to pipe up a little bit and defend themselves, say, look, let me just finish, because there's more to come. Next, what's your partner at in regards to money? You've got to give them a little bit of love here. Don't skip this. This is an important question. I'm not saying you have to make something up if they're not good at anything financially, but you need to find a bright spot. And by the way, before you have this conversation, think of that bright spot. Think of all your answers here, but don't come so loaded that you feel like they feel set up, because you are setting them up. You get to tell them whether you worry about money right now or otherwise. You get to tell them what you think your financial life was together 12 months ago and what it'll be like 12 months from now. Finally, you get to tell them what expense you would like to eliminate. And then here's the thing. This is where this gets really interesting. The point of this entire exercise is for each of you to put together steps of how you can begin to address those concerns that you have together. Listen, you have got to work together. There's a lot of reasons why you didn't have to work together in your financial life prior to now. You should have, but you could have gotten through what you've been through without working together. Could you be in a better position if you work together? Oh, absolutely. Can you survive the next 2 or 3 months of what it is we're going through without each other financially on the same page? No, you can't. You have to be on the same page. You do. It's the only way. And look, for those single people listening right now that are thinking, God, I'm glad I don't have to be in a relationship with someone that feels differently about this than I do. You're right. You're absolutely right. If you're into this 30-day thing we're doing here, thank you. It's great. I'm glad to have you. And your partner doesn't care, or maybe starting to show a little bit of interest, make it happen. Not for my ego. I don't really care. But for your relationship, right? Because you got to get through this together. Because if you're scared and they're scared, maybe you don't talk about money that much. Maybe you're talking about being scared of the virus, or you're talking about being scared of little elements of life as we know it right now. But maybe they've been unwilling to talk to you about their fears around their personal economy or your collective personal economy. It's okay. Look, does it help to have this conversation with a nice cold beverage in front of you? Yeah, probably. Maybe some nice music? Sure, whatever. Just don't spring it on them. Don't spring this conversation on them. All right, that's all we're doing today. It's a Saturday. I'm going to go play with my family before the storm that I'm looking out the window. It's coming. Boy, what a metaphor. What a metaphor. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourself. We're going to get through this. If you need us, go to callheymoney.com. Callheymoney.com. Offer code CHEESE, $17.99 a month. You can work with one of our experts and they'll walk you through this. If you need an accountability partner, or what a lot of couples do, is that we're the third wheel. Yeah. It's a trois. I don't know. So your significant other, and one of our experts, we can guide you through these conversations. It feels a little bit like therapy, but in a good way. All right. Have a good night with your family. I will see you tomorrow. Well, you'll see me. I can't see you through the camera, but I can feel you. See you then.